My bad, y'all. That's not the intro music. Welcome to the Campaign TV show. Here go the intro. Cap. Welcome, family, to the Campaign TV show. I am your host, your brother, King Cam. And I want to first thank all of the supporters, all of the family, all of the people who have supported the content, supported the podcast, all those beautiful things. We hit 40,000 followers on the page last night. So I went live and just said thank you. And I just want to use this opportunity again to say thank you for all the likes, shares, and support. Welcome to the Campaign TV show again. And tonight I have a two-part show in store. We are going to be talking about a black publication that's coming up here in Atlanta, Georgia, by the name of Rise Magazine. I'm going to say that again. We're talking about a black publication that's coming up right here in Atlanta, Georgia, by the name of Rise Magazine. And it features everything black excellence, family. So I want to not even take no more time and go ahead and get my interviewee up here, because she is going to be representing Rise Magazine today, and is going to be telling us all of the information that we need to know about this publication, why it's important, why it's necessary, and as you always hear me say, the importance of black media is vital because we are at war. And being at war, we have to understand that publication, propaganda, media plays a big part in swaying the people's minds. So when you want to get a people to move in a certain type of way, you have to propagandize them through the media. And what we know is that the media never reflects anything that deals with us in a manner that's beneficial to us. Now, if they want to use us as a tool for our detriment, if they want to use us to promote vaccination, if they want to use us to promote everything that's unnatural about us as a people, then they'll put us in the media in a way that they want to use us. But anytime it's about promoting strong black families, black economic empowerment, leadership, and with our women in strong positions, they don't want to put that out there. So black media is very, very important. And I have my sister Aziza, who's going to be talking to us today about that, dear sister. Could you go ahead and introduce yourself and just let the people know about Rise Magazine?
Yes, sir. Assalamualaikum.
Yes, sir. Wa
Well,
alaikum
firstly, I want
salam.
to thank you, Jackie,
Oh,
for.
hold on, real quick. Hold on, because I messed up something. Hold on. I gotta fix the audio. Hold up. Okay, there we go. I was wondering why it was sounding crazy. Did y'all
Okay,
hold on? Did y'all hear the intro music? Was y'all able to hear the intro music, or was I the only one that heard it? Did you hear Sister Aziza?
I didn't hear it. No, I saw you bopping
Oh
your
man, oh man, I thought I was listening. I thought I had the intro playing. I play it back, family. So,
head.
all right, sister, go ahead and introduce yourself. Let them know about Rise Magazine.
Yes, sir. Well, first, I want to thank you for allowing me to come on your show and introduce the magazine. And so I'm going to hold up the current issue of Rise Magazine. Let me be able to see it. No. Okay, in Rise Magazine, I would go and describe the definition of the name first. And when you hear the word rise, it's an upright position, it's waking up from sleep, it's elevation, and that's everything that's in the publication. That's what we strive to do. So with every article, with every interview, it's to wake people up, show them that we can do for self, that you know, just show what the Nation of Islam is doing, show that we can have unity within the Black community, no matter if we're Christian, we call ourselves Christian or Muslim or Hebrew Israelite. No matter what we are, we're still in the same struggle. So Rise Magazine really highlights all of that. It highlights Black-owned businesses. It highlights, as I said, the work of the Nation of Islam, the work of young Black people doing things. There's different stories in there. There's something in Rise Magazine for everyone.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So, the Rise Magazine is a publication that's headed up and spearheaded by the Nation of Islam. Can you talk about um, the inspiration that went behind creating a publication that would be that would highlight all of us in the Black community?
Yeah, well, firstly, I want to mention the CEO and founder of the magazine, who's Student Minister Abdul Sharif Muhammad, and that's the Southern Regional Representative of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And the magazine is really his vision put to life. And I'm thankful to him and to Allah that I'm able to work as the editor of the magazine. And
Yes,
Minister
ma'am.
Sharif, his vision is really to promote Black owned businesses, to show people that, we are doing for self, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad instructed us to do. And there's people who have businesses within the nation, outside the nation, that you don't even know about. And with the magazine, it just shows all of those businesses. It shows the talent that, you may not know someone has.
Absolutely. So let me ask you this, because a lot of people say, well, because of social media today, we get a lot of our information there. So people promote their businesses there. People put, all of the information, whether it's news, whether it's gossip, whether it's sports, everything can be found on social media. So could you talk about still creating the physical copies and the physical aspect of Rise Magazine?
Yes. Well, I think with social media, although you do see things posted, what people are doing, I feel like there's some people who need a physical thing in their hand. They need that real. They need to hold something in their hand. So some people, they can just look at it and it gets to them. But there's other people who need to have something physical in their hand to flip through to see,
Right.
and something that they could pass on to other people. So although on social media you can still reshare, share posts and all that, I think it's also important to have something that you can keep behind. And also, if anything ever happens to social media, you still have a
Right.
hard copy of something to keep, something historical that you can keep behind. So if anything whatever happened to Instagram, Facebook, you'll still have a physical book that you can pass down to people.
Well, yeah, I think that's good because again, as times change, things in or out, and you may not have access to certain things. So I think it's good for collector's item, collectible for history purposes and things like that. When I think about magazines, I think about East Bay magazine, right? When I was growing up, we had the East Bay magazine where we could buy our shoes. People was buying sneakers out of there, but you had like Jet magazine, you had Double XL, right? You had the Source. So you had all of these black cultural magazines, Ebony magazine, that featured black people on the cover. So you showed us the cover earlier, of Rise Magazine, the latest issue. Could you talk about the mindset that goes behind the cover and why it's important to have positive black images on the front covers?
Yes. Well, the first thing I'm going to say is even with other Black publications, a lot of them have, they were given an offer by bigger or an offer they couldn't refuse by maybe people that they thought would help them. And these people are not ones that look like us. So the Black
Right.
owned magazines, a lot of them have really not stayed within what their true value. So they're catering to Black people, but it's not owned by a Black person.
Yes, ma'am.
So with Rise Magazine, it's catered to everyone really, but it's created by Black people for Black people to show that we can rise. And you asked another question. Let me make sure I got it correct.
Oh no, and I talked about just the importance of having black people on the cover because these other magazines did at least feature black people on the cover. You had your Halle Berrys, you had different black women or black brothers, Blair Underwood, different actors and actresses, entertainers, Michael Jordan, all of that stuff on the front of these covers. And I know with Rise Magazine, there's always a black person on the cover. So I just wanted to talk
Yes, sir.
about the mindset of making sure that there's positive images of black people out front.
Yeah, so I'm going to go through each issue that we had. So we had 3 issues. For the first issue, Student Minister Sharif was on the cover, and he was promoting Supreme Spring Water, and that shows Black-owned business. Someone doing for self,
Right.
not just to benefit self, but to benefit the whole. On the second issue, we had Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, which shows someone who really carries the weight of so many Black people on his shoulders. So that's
Come
the
on.
cover for this really speaks for itself.
First, come on. That's
And
right.
on the third issue, we have Sister Sharifa Muhammad, who really represents that a nation can rise no higher than its woman, because it represents the work that she's done in the Nation of Islam. So with each cover, we have someone featured who's really putting in work, and you can read about their stories in the magazine to see what they're doing. It's not just, you know, there's not just words, but action behind the people who are featured on the cover.
Absolutely, and I think it's really, I think it's really cool that we have black women, being featured in this latest issue, especially after Coming to America came out, and it was a lot of hints towards, feminism and things of that nature. But when I did my review on that particular movie, I didn't say that it fell under the umbrella of feminism because in our culture and our kingdoms, we always rule with a balance of masculine and feminine energy. So there was no oppression of our women in our culture. That's why we have patriarchal leadership that oppresses the women, and they had to create what is called the feminist movement. But that's not what we do. So when you see, and in the movie, obviously he ended up having his daughter become queen and taking over the throne. So with Rise Magazine having and highlighting black women in leadership and talking about the great works that has done, how does that speak to our women today and uplifting them and putting them in a good space?
I would say it shows women that, they don't have to follow what society tells them to follow. They can have, I would say, internal and external modesty.
Right.
And I mentioned modesty because that really, without it, you can't really get much in terms of building any nation without a woman respecting herself. In order for advancement and building of any nation, the woman has to first know her value and respect herself. And that's where modesty comes in. And like I said, not just external modesty, but internal modesty. So if the woman knows her worth, she can put herself out there in a positive way, and she can influence like she can influence nations, and she can influence people worldwide. It doesn't have to be within just her state or her city or her country even. And when a woman knows her value, she can the sky's the limit for her really.
Yes, ma'am. Well, come on then. Well, talk about that role. Talk about the influence that the black woman has, because really, that is pivotal in the nation building factor. You can't build a strong nation, without families, and you do not have a strong family unless you have black women, and you have women that understand the true knowledge of themselves and their roles. So, could you just talk about the role of the black woman and being an MGT in the Nation of Islam?
I would say that, as we said, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that a nation can rise no higher than its women. Or was it the Honorable Minister was Farrakhan, said that nation can rise no higher than its women. So I think that just that statement right there, um, all life comes from the womb of a woman.
Right.
So
That's
we really have a big job as a woman to, make sure that our families are taken care of, make sure that, because when the family's taken care of, then
the
that son,
nation.
that husband can go out and do their job because,
Mm,
they have that woman there for support and for guidance and, all bringing it from God because we're the second self of God. So, we
come on.
can use that energy, use that spirituality and help our men, help our sons so that they can go out and do what they need to do in a world that is often just daily putting them down. That's, just thinking about the black man, their struggles that they have to go through on a daily basis. They need that woman to comfort them. They need the woman to give them support. And that really helps. That helps the whole family, not just the wife or the
Indeed.
husband. It helps for generations to come. So the woman has a really big role.
Indeed. So, what other things can we expect to see in Rise Magazine? We have, strong black figures on the front cover. We have black businesses, entrepreneurs supporting and promoting doing for self and entrepreneurship. What else can we expect in Rise Magazine?
You can expect to see a lot more interesting content, different features in the cover. I'm not going to say who's going to be featured in each cover. I'll leave that as a surprise. But you'll have
Right.
a lot more content, everything that you can relate to, that women can relate to, that men can relate to, people inside and outside the Nation of Islam, all to really bridge the gap and create unity. So
Absolutely.
everyone could expect to see way more interesting content. That's what I would say.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. So I know Student Minister Sharif, the Southern Regional Representative of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan here in Atlanta and in the Southern region, is building and working on the 10,000 Phyllis, or what he calls the ARC. Could you talk about some of the things that are coming out of the ARC, including, obviously Rise Magazine, right? But could you just expand on some of the other work that is being done coming out of the ARC of the 10,000 Phyllis here, right here in Atlanta, Georgia?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually excited to talk about this.
Yes, ma'am.
So the ARC, Student Minister Sharif has many businesses that are going to be included in it, which is the Rise Magazine office. We have a sisters boutique, auditing for men and women, both sisters and brothers. There would be 10,000 Fearless 2, People United for Change. There's Your Fish program, where people could
Mm,
get whiting fish delivered to their door. We have, as you can see, there's a lot. We have the bean pie business. There's everything you need, a supermarket, everything you
mm-hmm.
need in one place. And if I can, I just want to, how they say history repeats itself?
Right.
I just want to like go into the arc a little bit because I feel like this is really interesting. When I would say when God told Noah to build the ark, he told him to put rooms in it. And
Mm,
I feel like in this arc that Student Minister Sharif has in Atlanta, there's different rooms serving a purpose of what the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said, which is do for self or suffer the consequences. And just looking at Noah, he found grace in God's eyes. Whatever God told him to do, he did it. Now we hear or we read in Message to the Black Man how the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said, do for self or suffer the consequences. That's from God. He's honorable Elijah Muhammad, he's right from God. So that was a direct order for us. And I feel like Student Minister Sharif, he's taking that direct order as Noah did, as Noah took his direct order to build the ark. And Minister Sharif is building these businesses to show that, we're going to make the words of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad not just words in a book or not just words that we speak on our tongue, but actual a physical thing that you can see and that you can go and benefit from and touch. And it's not just words, it's action. So that's what I would say about the ark. And everyone should support it. It's a really beautiful project. If you go online, you can see the progression of it, how the businesses are, everything's being set up, the organization, the beauty of it. It's really a great sight to see.
Absolutely, absolutely. And for those of you who are just tuning in, this is the Campaign TV show. I am your host, Brother King Cam, and I'm here with my sister Aziza, and she is talking about Rise Magazine. Rise Magazine, a black publication right here in Atlanta, spearheaded by our Southern Regional Minister, Student Minister Abdul Sharif Muhammad, the Nation of Islam. So for those of you who like to say that the nation don't have no businesses, the nation not doing nothing, it's all talk and all of that kind of foolishness that y'all like to spread out there, my sister just talked about the Your Fish program. We talking about Black Magazine promoting other black businesses. We talking about a black-owned water company in Supreme Spring Water. We got the Bean Pot coming out of the Ark right here in Atlanta. So you're talking about multiple different things that are happening. 10,000 fillers where we securing and cleaning up our communities. Multiple things happening that you can be a part of. You don't have to sit on the sideline. You don't have to sit around and watch and spectate, but you can actually come and be a part, because this is not something that is solely for members of the Nation of Islam to do nor enjoy. As my sister mentioned, that everybody is in the Rise magazine. It's not just Muslims. It's not just Christians. Everybody that's about the unification, the liberation of our people, are in Rise magazine. So come on, be a part of it, family. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe. If you're tapping in from YouTube, hit that bell so you can be notified each and every time we drop a video. But we were talking about Rise magazine. We talked about the businesses, the other businesses that are in the art. We got the auditing inside of there. So much different stuff. So, how can people go about getting the Rise magazine? How can we order our own copies? And also too, is there a way to order the back issues? I know you showed us the latest issue, but if someone wanted to get all three, how do they go about doing that?
Yes, so to order the magazine, you can go to www.risemagazineco.com. And again, that's www.risemagazineco.com. And now you can purchase you purchase the first two issues. We have digital copy available, and then we have the third issue in both digital and hard copy, and all that's on the website. And also
Oh,
mention
could
you
you
can
say
follow
that
the
last
social
part?
media page.
Yeah, could you say that last part one more time? I think it broke up or something.
Okay, yeah. So you can order the first two editions of Rise Magazine in a digital edition on www.risemagazineco.com, and you can order the third issue in both digital and hard copy, and that's all available on the website.
Absolutely, absolutely. So listen, I actually want to show you guys what the website look like, because I have it pulled up here so we can actually go and look at the Rise Magazine website. So when you go and type it in, you know exactly what to look for and what not to look for. So let me go ahead and share my screen really quick here so that we can show you all the magazine website. This is good information. This is something that we definitely need to know and should make sure that we know. All right, family. So here you have it right here. This is Rise Magazine. The new issue is out now. You can pre-order. So we want to make sure that we pre-ordering this. The peak of greatness, family. And as you can see, we are honoring our black women today. A soldier for Muhammad, you know. Got the social media right there. So if you want to stay up to date to everything that's happening with Rise Magazine, the latest issue coming out, the articles, the editorial team, all of that kind of good stuff, you can follow them on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Oops, I accidentally clicked it. But see, it's gonna take us right to the Instagram page. Look. So y'all can come on over, and this is Rise Magazine right here. You can follow them on Instagram, okay, family? Follow them on Instagram. And then as we scroll down, you can see some of what is offered, some of the articles, all of this beautiful stuff, the modesty of our women. Come on now. Now, who would want to support this? Somebody that don't want to support this is literally not for our people. Because I don't understand how you wouldn't want to support this. Look at the brothers, sharp looking brothers. The sisters have a boutique, family, with 15% off for stuff. Shop at the Savior's Day sale, all type of stuff going on. So this is what it looks like when you're trying to build something for ourselves and then support it. This is not nothing that is no. This ain't no bootleg magazine nobody putting together. This is the real deal. Any magazine that you go and get from the grocery store, this is the same quality, if not better. Because I have a copy of the Rise magazine as well. Every human being should be grateful for the mercy of God. That's a quote from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. That's something that should lay pressure onto our minds. So this is just what the Rise magazine looks like, family. This is what the website looks like. And you said, Sister Aziza, that you could come to the website to order.
Yes, you can go to the website to order. And if you want to be
Okay, cool.
featured on our social media page, just if you order the or when you order the magazine, go to our social media page and you can upload a picture of yourself holding it so that we could post it on our social media.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we have shout out to everybody that's in the comment section. God bless you, brother Dino. Sister Love is in the building. She said, "Thank you. Any black man who don't understand the value of black women, then you need to read more." Absolutely, family. And man, we always supporting our community. We always supporting and uplifting anything that is supporting us. So, sis said, "I'm all in." Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. And here is the website right here, www.risemagazineco.com. www.risemagazineco.com. Now, Sister Ziza, how can the people get their hands on that Supreme Spring Water? How can they get their
Yeah,
hands on the Supreme Spring Water?
so before I tell them how they can get it, I'm going to tell them how great it tastes. So Supreme Spring Water is not like any water that you get from the supermarket that has that, you can almost taste the fluoride in it. Supreme Spring Water is,
Right.
you can just tell the difference as soon as you open it and drink it. And to get that, you can visit www.supremespringwater.com. And that's where you can order it. You can order in the case. We have gallon waters coming. So go to www.supremespringwater.com to order it.
All right. I'm putting that into the chat right now. And this is it, www.supremespringwater.com.
Yes, sir.
Is
That's
that
it.
it?
Yep, that's it.
All right. All right. Praise be to Allah. So we got the website in there for you to be able to get your spring water, get your magazine, family. This is what it's about. This is what it's about. Everybody talk about liberation and being free and doing for self and doing for our own and all of that kind of stuff. But when we now are presenting products for us to take it to the next level, we got to take the word and make the word flesh. We have to take the word, make the word flesh. Because if it's not made in the flesh, then it's just simply sayings and a talking point and things that we talk about at the dinner table each and every time, family. So, Sister Aziza, is it anything that you wanted to leave us with as far as Rise Magazine? Anything that's upcoming events in Atlanta or anything like that?
Before going to that, I wanted to let people know how they could support the ARC. If
Yes,
I can do that
absolutely.
first. So to support the ARC, you can send your donations to Cash App, which with the $ student ministry 19, student ministry 15. I'm sorry. So once again, that's $ student ministry 15, and that's where you can send in donations so that student ministry Sharif can keep the project going. And like I said, it's for the nation, it's for everyone, as for people outside the nation. So that's how they can support the ARC. And as far as Rise Magazine, we're going to keep continuing to just really make it a household name. That's what we want to do. Make Rise Magazine a household name, up there with Essence and Ebony Magazine, but coming from and staying with Black people and for the benefit of Black people, unedited and, just telling nothing but the truth, which is something that the CEO and founder desires. So that's what we intend to
Absolutely,
do.
absolutely. That unadulterated truth.
Yes,
That
absolutely.
unadulterated truth. So listen, family, if you would like to support the ARC, 10,000 Phyllis, the work that Student Minister Sharif is doing here in Atlanta, Georgia, the Cash App is there. It's $Student Ministry 15. $Student Ministry 15. If you are located in Atlanta, then you are more than welcome to come on by the ARC. Come on by the ARC and check it out for yourself. This is not something that people we just talking about that isn't coming into fruition. You can come on by the ARC and have a look yourself. You understand? One Student Ministry 15 Cash App. If you would like to support the work of the 10,000 Phyllis, if you are a person that thinks our community needs to be cleaned up, that we need to get the drugs off of the street, we need to be protecting our women and our children, our young men and women, our youth need to be taken off the street and put into constructive programs. If that's the mindset that you have, then you should be supporting the ARC. You should be supporting the 10,000 Phyllis here in Atlanta, Georgia, and all across the country in your local city. So if you are in Atlanta and you would like to support the ARC, you can support at Cash App $Student Ministry 15. All right, Student Ministry 15. And if you would like to support the spring water, because it's not only just 10,000 Phyllis, but there's also water. We have a black-owned water company. So if you want to support the black-owned water company, you can support that at www.supremespringwater.com. www.supremespringwater.com. So if you would like to support the water, you have that. And then also, if you would like to get your magazine, if you would like to get your magazine, you can go to www.risemagazineco.com. Risemagazineco.com. So that's how we doing that, family. If you did not get a chance to check out the website, I actually went on through the website earlier for the magazine. You can see exactly what everything is, what we're doing, what's going on, and how you can support and help, family. So I thank you, Sister Aziza, for your
Yes,
support.
ma'am. Thank you.
And oh yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. I thank you for coming on to the show and talking to us about Rise Magazine, and we definitely going to continue to talk about it and make it a household name, like you said, with everybody else. But this is not going to be bought or sold out. What we're going to do is we're going to stay black owned and operated for our people so that we can continue to teach and speak truth.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So we are going to be moving into the next part of the show. Sister Aziza, did you want to stay with us, or you gonna go ahead and get on up out of here?
Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and stay.
Okay, okay, okay.
I'm
So,
not just gonna talk and leave. That
yes,
would be kind
yes,
of
ma'am.
rude.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely, absolutely. So listen, listen, family, listen. Now we're going to be discussing on this second half. Don't leave. If you left, you're gonna miss out. We're gonna be going through giving our commentary on this Meghan Markle and Oprah interview. Meghan Marble and Okra's interview. I call her Okra family. Okra and Kale. Okra and Kale. So make sure you share this out. Share this out. Share this out. Get this into share this as many people as possible. Make sure you like it and comment so we can get as many people tapped into this. So we're gonna be talking about this interview. And one thing that I wanted to discuss, and I was praying that my sister stayed with us because she could also give us some insight from a woman's perspective on this, as Meghan Markle did her interview with Oprah talking about white supremacy in the British family and all of that kind of stuff in the royal family. So we're gonna go. Let me go ahead and pull up the interview because we're gonna go ahead and get right to it because a lot of people have been talking about it, and we always got to share our thoughts and give um, guidance on this. So let me go ahead and pull this bad boy up. I'm gonna pull up the clip anyway because I could not find the whole thing. So let me see if I can pull up this clip.
Women choose Renew Life probiotics because they're made for us, with premium probiotic.
Can y'all hear that? Are you able to hear it?
I can hear it.
Okay, sweet.
Strains, formulated, tested, and guaranteed for a woman's digestive system. We know women are different, which is why Renew Life probiotics are too, made for what makes you different.
In a devastating interview, a visibly pregnant Duchess of Sussex told Oprah Winfrey her royal life in London left her suicidal.
I just didn't want to be alive anymore. And that was a very clear and real and frightening, constant thought. And I remember how he just cradled me, and I went to the institution and I said that I needed to go somewhere to get help. So that I've never felt this way before and I need to go somewhere. And I was told that I couldn't, that it wouldn't be good for the institution.
So were you thinking of harming yourself? Were you having suicidal thoughts?
Yes, this was very, very clear.
The young family sharing a video from a Californian beach. But Meghan says before she had baby Archie, there were conversations about his status in the royal family and about his race.
In those months when I was pregnant, all around this same time, so we have in tandem the conversation of he won't be given security, he's not going to be given a title, and also concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born.
What? And you're not going to tell me who had the conversation?
Very damaging to them.
Well, what is particularly striking is what Meghan shared with us earlier, is that no one wants to admit that there's anything.
Okay, family. Okay. First of all, there's so much going on right there, right? There's so much going on right there. Sisters, please feel free to chime in at any point that you want to. But there is so much that's going on right there in that particular instance. With that, I just want to say first and foremost, we're not talking about mental state of this sister in a negative way or a condescending way, because people that are going through any type of mental trauma, that's real, right? So we're not going to get on here and discuss that her mental state. But what we are going to discuss is the impact of white supremacy on the mind when you don't have knowledge of self. Now, you heard her say that the conditions were made so uncomfortable in the royal family for her that she became suicidal. Now, when you don't understand white supremacy at its root, then what happens is you can trick your own self into believing that you can assimilate into white supremacy because you may be lighter, you may be brighter, you may have a certain level of education. But when you are faced with it and up close and personal with it, it just hits different. And that's why having a certain knowledge is so important. Because when you wake up to reality, then you start to understand, like, okay, white supremacy is all around us. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you comment, because I want to hear your thoughts on this, family. But white supremacy dominates every field of human endeavor on the planet. There's nowhere that you can go where white supremacy is not the order of the day. There's nowhere that you can go where white supremacy is not the root of business, the root of education, the root of religion, the root of any human endeavor is white supremacy. And if you watch Hidden Colors, they talked about white supremacy as a religion. It's the only religion that isn't a religion, but is a religion. because it dominates all the religions. You understand what I'm saying? So it's very important because it's really old news. And Sister Aziza, you can tune in, you could tap in if you want to, but this is really old news when it comes to white supremacy in the royal family because they're not new to this. We understand that they established their royal uh titles and they established or asserted themselves as as the royal family off of the slavery and the labor of darker people and original people all over the planet Earth. Am I
Yeah.
telling the
I
truth?
would like to actually say something.
Yes, ma'am.
And
Please go ahead and tap in on that.
you mentioned that white supremacy. That's you find it everywhere. It really is universal, and even within
Come on.
the African continent, you'll still find, although the majority, you'll see people, black people, but you'll still find that white supremacy and that just that mental slavery. People
Yeah.
thinking that they need to. You see a lot of skin bleaching, and Megan, just as Megan was saying in the interview, she really, you can see that she wants to fit in, and she wants acceptance, and she's hurt that she's not getting that acceptance, or that her children won't get that acceptance, and that's all goes back to white supremacy, just wanting to look like them so that they can accept us, which really is not going to happen because they, and why do we need to want to be accepted by them anyway? We have our own beauty, our own identity. We don't have to try to make ourselves other than what we are, who we are. That's all I would have to say with that.
And just to veggie back off of that, not only do we have our own beauty and our own uniqueness to ourselves, but we are the mother and father of civilization. I mean, we are the mothers and fathers of civilization. There is nobody else unless you have the black man and the black woman. So when you see the black woman, you're looking at the mother of civilization. From her came all other races. And when you don't have this knowledge, then you can be made to feel as if you are inferior because you do have an inferior knowledge. So it can, with wickedly wise people, can manipulate you into believing that you are inferior. And then she talked about the color of her son's skin. And that was a thing with the royal family. Well, duh. It's going to be a thing with the royal family because this is who they are. This is who they are. And Oprah did the interview. And there's several different things that we could discuss when it comes to Oprah, right? And uh her mishandling of so many different things. We understand her partnerships, her relationships with certain individuals in the European community. So this right here, I don't think is a shock to her, and we always have to be on guard. We always have to be on guard when you're dealing with people that have a known track record of being on the front line for everybody else. Cause see, she'll come out and they'll do an interview, they'll do a documentary, on people like R. Kelly. But then when you have people like Epstein and Weinstein and all of these other people that come out with sexual assault allegations, there is no documentary. There is no. Now they finally ended up doing something on Jeffrey Epstein, right? That you can see on Netflix. But that comes after public pressure. That comes after we had to beat down the door because you did R. Kelly so bad. Poor brother Kobe wasn't in the ground before Kale decided that she was going to press Lisa Leslie on his past and exonerated case of sexual assault. Like who does this stuff? And if it wasn't for public backlash, Kel wouldn't even came out and apologized for that. But you don't see the same pressure applied to European white men. So that's why black media is so important. That's why Rise Magazine is so important, or Campaign TV podcast is so important, or any other black media outlet that's teaching truth. because in order for you to get a proper understanding of what's going on, the outlets are important, because if not, this type of media will have you to believe that nobody ever thought that there was white supremacy in the royal family. And Meghan was caught so off guard about this. I mean, and Oprah was so shocked about them having a problem with the son's skin color. And it's like, okay, but you knew this already. So this is why this is important, family. We are the mothers and fathers of civilization. Don't let nobody tell you any different. We know Mendel's law that says that black is dominant, white is recessive. And when you go into the history, you'll see that there always was original people all over this planet Earth. And from us came all other races. Black is not a color. Black is the essence from which all color comes. Am I telling the truth? Black is not a color, but it's the essence from which all color comes. So you don't have anything unless you have the original man and the original woman. Let me go back to this interview, and let's go on through the rest of this interview right here. Boy, man, hey, Oprah look bad, boy. That's what happened when you came in the white supremacy, boy. You be looking crazy. All right, here she go.
About race, or that race has played a role in the trolling and the vitriol. What was that conversation?
That conversation I'm never going to share. But at the time...
All right, wait a minute. Now, Sister Aziza, feel free to tap in on this too. You can get in on this too.
Yes,
but
sir.
remember, Oprah asked Meghan. Oprah asked Meghan to elaborate on what was said in her conversation with the royal family, and Meghan decided not to do that because why? She said it would be a negative light. It would not shine positively on the family, right? So she's on code. I want y'all to see what's happening. Meghan's on code with this. She's on code with white supremacy. Then she asks Harry, her husband, the son of Prince Charles, son of Princess Diana. Oh, we're going to talk about Princess Di too. Oprah asked him to elaborate on the conversation. He said he would never share the conversation. Do you see how they are always on code, family? Even when in disagreement, even though Harry, and you're going to hear later on in the interview, he's not even talking to his family right now, but he's still on code. He's not going to violate the code. That's something for us to look at, and that we should make sure that we study, because what a lot of you like to do is when you fall out with somebody or you disagree with them all out in the public so the enemy can see the disagreement and then use that against us to create mischief and controversy among the leadership. And a lot of us play right into that. Well, not me, but you. Not Sister Aziza, but y'all. Play right into the hands of the enemy when we going back and forth on social media, when we sitting up here trying to expose somebody, when we sitting up here calling somebody out, or we don't agree with this or we don't agree with that. Well, the whole thing is that it don't matter what you agree with at that point in time. Don't matter. The fact is we got to be on code when it's the opposition coming for somebody that's us. We are on code until otherwise. You on team B1 until otherwise noted. Until other evidence is shown, we on B1 first. Until it can be proved that said person is guilty of whatever. Other than that, you are loyal to black liberation, to the black nation. And that's how it has to be. Sister Aziza, would you like to just chime in on that?
I don't have anything to say at this moment. I'm shocked that they're in shock. So I really don't have anything to say.
Yeah. So, I mean, y'all see this, Prince Harry. Everybody's on code with white supremacy. When you see those caping, you got those in politics. I ain't gonna put no names out there, but you got certain people in politics that done ramped up the Democratic Party, had you out there voting for Democrats and all of that kind of stuff, trying to get the Republicans out of office and all of that foolishness. That got you out there, done put you the ones that got these people in the office, and now you can't even get anything that you said that was promised to you on the campaign trail. You can't even get a meeting today. I'm trying my hardest to see if I can get in contact with Ice Cube because I want to ask him if he ever got that call from Kamala and President Joe Biden after they got into the office. Because if you remember, Ice Cube said that they told him, let's talk once we get into the office. If we get in, we'll have a conversation then, because we wasn't even in power at the time. See, that was the conversation with Ice Cube at the time. So now that they in power, was Ice Cube ever given a call? See, they discussed the black contract with Black America. Oh, you thought we forgot? Oh no, we didn't forget. We didn't forget. But anyway, let's get back to this foolishness, this madness that's going on over here. But listen, Prince Harry, on code, family.
At the time, it was awkward. I was a bit shocked.
He was shocked. He grew up in the royal family. He's shocked about white supremacy. Oh, and I got something to show y'all too. But keep listening.
Can you tell us what the question was?
No, I'm not comfortable sharing that.
The strain, Harry and Meghan say, ultimately driving them away from the UK and from the royal family.
When we were in Canada, I had 3 conversations with my grandmother and 2 conversations with my father before he stopped taking my calls. By that point, I took matters into my own hands. It was like, I need to do this for my family.
The couple say the British press played a major role. A story about Meghan making Kate cry, one of many Meghan says was untrue.
Was there a situation where she might have cried or she could have cried?
No, the reverse happened.
Crucially, the couple say they felt unprotected. The scars are clear.
You said that you love your brother and always will love your brother. You didn't tell me what the relationship is now, though.
The relationship is space at the moment. And, time heals all things, hopefully.
No comment, guys, from the palace this morning. Perhaps that's to be expected. The couple do say they have a good relationship.
All right, so look at this, family. Look at this now. I'm about to show you y'all boy Prince Harry, right? Because he married this black woman. Let me close this out. All right, because he married this black woman. Let me switch the camera because I think, yeah. Hold on, family, hold on. Ooh wee! All right, I had to switch to the other camera, but we're gonna make it work. So this, let me show my screen real fast. Let me show y'all your boy Prince Harry though, because he up there acting like this don't exist, right? Oh, yeah, we got the receipts, brother. You see him, Harry the Nazi? He wore this as a young man, huh? He did this as a young man, and he decided he was gonna wear a German Nazi swastika to a party. A German Nazi swastika to a party. So he has his own background and tendencies of white supremacy. Y'all see it? Y'all can pull it up. Caught red-handed. Harry the Nazi, right? So he has his own white supremacy background. White supremacist background. And this is something that we definitely need to make sure that we are paying attention to, because at the end of the day, this is real. At the end of the day, this is all actual facts, everything that you could pull up. And this is not for you. This is a lesson for you, family, to not ever be confused. Don't ever be confused, okay? Don't do this. If you confused, I'm here to help you not be confused anymore, because you should have learned. I don't teach you to cape for white supremacy. I've never taught you anything about the acceptance of white supremacy, and you should by now know the knowledge yourself, because I teach it to you. Have I not? And if you say I didn't,
stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap. No bullshit.
You know, we give you the game. We give you all of the jewels, all of the knowledge here on the Campaign TV show. So we give you the game, family. But don't be confused by gestures or symbols without substance or anything of that nature that will ever confuse you of the nature or the true nature of white supremacy, which is to preserve the European and them in dominant and powerful positions. Because see, our sister Megan forgot. She thought because if she can marry into the family, she could have some children, she could do all of these different things. She would be able to somehow get past that white supremacy barrier, and then it hit her right in the face. You understand? He used her because of the birth. Oh, come on now, good teaching, good teaching. You know about how the birth rate in the European and the Caucasian society is at -0 or -1, could be less than that at this point in time. So they're not able to reproduce. And the demographers are saying that in a few short years, there's going to be a browning of America, which means it's going to be mostly black and brown people in America. So he had to make sure that he got him a black baby so that he can continue his lineage. See, these people know what's going on. They know what's going on. Sister Ziza, I wanted to ask you because you actually have lived abroad, right? And this is an international issue. Well, not an international issue, but this is coming from overseas, right? We're talking about the royal family, England and Britain. I know you didn't live there, but could you talk about the white supremacy that is international? Because a lot of us, we think about what happens here in America, but can you talk about the international reach of white supremacy outside of the Western Hemisphere?
Yeah, so I lived in Saudi Arabia for 6 years, and you can see the effects of white supremacy. I lived in Saudi Arabia for 6 years. I visited surrounding countries around Saudi Arabia, and I visited the UK briefly before. But
Okay.
you can see white supremacy even there. You can see it by um, just by one example would be by looking on the shelves. So when you look on the shelves, you can see skin lightening creams, skin lightening soaps, anything to take the melanin away. In the Middle East, people range from different colors. They have like really fair to really dark, and you can see that the darker skin people, you can see the complex that they have. So a lot of them bleach their skin and just try to have more European features. European hair. There were contacts, lighten their eyes, and that just really shows that white supremacy has traveled around the globe to everywhere. Also within the Middle East, you'll also find different nationalities of people. So either that's from East Asia, South Asia, and it's the same thing. Everyone wants to look more European because everyone wants to, have that Caucasian look or fit in with what they think is superior, So it's definitely something that's seen around the globe. And it's really sad to see. Honestly, it was sad to see because you'll see people with beautiful melanin trying to lighten their skin because they think that's what's acceptable.
Wow, that's that right there. That right there just shows you because you see a lot of it, and you can actually Google articles, family. Right? You can actually Google articles of skin bleaching. It happens in Nigeria a lot. Even when you ask, if you go to some of these foreign countries and you ask them their nationality, they will tell you that they are Caucasian, or excuse me, not nationality, their ethnicity. They will tell you that they are Caucasian. And that right there is mind blowing because you're looking at them like, what you mean you Caucasian? What does that mean? But and that's a podcast for another day. But people identify with being Caucasian. One, because there are, well, it's two parts to it. It's certain benefits that you're able to get by identifying as Caucasian. So you'll see why people like Kamala Harris will actually be black, right? She is black, but has identified in the past as being Caucasian because there are certain benefits that are attached to it, depending on what her political goals are or were. Then there are certain things that go along with identifying yourself as Caucasian. But as you can see, this thing has really gotten and warped our mind. So the minister said anything that's warped means that it's out of shape, that is misformed. And I think that's a beautiful, beautiful point for us to look at, because this is white supremacy thing has really warped our mind. And without the proper knowledge and you really understanding what white supremacy is and who you are that combats it, it can literally cause you to lose your mind, because you can be under the assumption that you are a part of something that you're really not. And that could be a culture shock to you that will really cause you to lose your mind. So as they mentioned before, there was no comment from the palace, obviously, but this right here is, it's something for us to study. It's definitely something for us to study, and for us to really take note at how they actually still, like I said, they stayed on code. And they didn't talk about it in the interview, but they didn't have security. They took the security away. They took the security away from her and her husband, so they left them out. So just imagine you being one who is under the protection of a security detail in your family, and then all because y'all disagree, they take the security away, which means they leave you unprotected. And that means you could be harmed, you could be killed, all of that stuff can happen to you. And that's how strong the sentiments of the family are as it pertains to white supremacy. His brother, his grandmother, his father, all complicit in this. So it makes me think about, and Sister Aziza, you could definitely give some insight on this, but with Princess Diana, she was not of royal blood neither. So when she married into the family, married Prince Charles, there was some issues with that a lot of people did not like in the royal family, in particular Queen Elizabeth. And if you watch, you can actually go and watch the documentary that talks about Princess Diana, but she said the exact same thing. Go look up the interviews where she said she wanted to take her life when she was the princess, right? So same song now, same song and dance. Sister Aziza mentioned earlier, history repeats itself, you know? So you seeing this same thing again. Go check it out. Princess Diana did the interview where she said she wanted to also take her life. She didn't say it was because of white supremacy, but the atmosphere wanted her, or made her to believe that she wanted to commit suicide. And then after that, when she decided she was getting out of the family and she was going to go ahead and get a divorce from Prince Charles, then she goes get with a Muslim brother by the name of Dodi Fayed. She gets with a Muslim brother, and then everything is downhill from there. And then obviously you know the rest of the story. And nobody can say for sure if her death was really an accident or not. It's a lot of speculation around it. But again, you've seen this movie play out before, family. We've seen this movie play out before. So please hit the comment section. Give me your thoughts. Give me your feedback on, what do you think about this interview? What do you think about what's going on? And that's why it's very important, again, for you to be tuned in to the Campaign TV show and to other outlets that are teaching truth, teaching the knowledge itself, so that we're able to combat this thing, because there's people that's going through this each and every day. People going through this on corporate American jobs, right? In corporate America. All of this type of stuff that's going on, and we really thinking. See, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad told us that these people have proven to be disagreeable to live with in peace. That's it. They're disagreeable to live with in peace, family. So why do we try to continue to force ourselves onto a people or into a situation that does not want us to be there? So that's something for us to think about. I wanted to lay that pressure on your mind tonight. So please forgive the camera tonight. I don't know, the other camera, it died on me, so we had to switch to the webcam, but it's all good because it's not about the quality, it's about the information. It's not about the camera quality, it's about the information. So Sister Aziza, is there anything that you wanted to share as we go ahead and close out?
I don't have anything else. I just want to thank you again.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. I want to thank you and Rise Magazine and Student Minister Sharif for allowing this platform to discuss the things that are happening in Atlanta and allowing you to come on and represent himself and the Rise Magazine and promote Black business. And and you did a really really good job. So, family, if we're gonna go ahead and close out for the night, so y'all already know. Make sure y'all tuned in each and every Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the campaign TV show, and I'm gonna give y'all something to listen to on the outro, family. And Sister Aziza, just stick around for a minute after we end the broadcast. All right. So
Yes,
make
sir.
sure y'all like, share, subscribe, and y'all know y'all can follow me on all of the social media platforms. If you want to donate to the show, it's scrolling across the bottom at $ Campaign TV Show. $Campaign TV Show on the Cash App, family. So I want y'all to hear and check out this latest Brother Ben X track on the outro, family. Peace and blessings and assalamu alaikum.
Well, Islam.
We used to stay in one room, Almighty God made room. Devils prayed for my doom, they weren't prepared for the boom. We used to stay in one room, Almighty